Okay, back for an update. Steps 5 through whatever, I'm not sure at this point anymore. But I'm ready. I've had my caffeine and I am ready to get on with this bow making project. Got my strings in the mail from KramerAmmons.com. He was so cool. He does them all himself, and then he even sends them in a sealed wax. I don't know if you can see that sealed wax envelope with his insignia on there. It's really cool. So once the bow's all done, I'll put this really sweet black string on there. Oh, and that'll just be awesome. I can't wait to put that on. So that's at the end though. What I've done so far since we last met was got my orange tillering string, which you can see is on, and I put the nocks in, which I'm not super happy with because they're a bit wide. I used this chainsaw file, which I do not believe is the same diameter as the one that Kramer used, so I'm gonna have to look for a smaller one. They are even though, in the bow, it does go down the center of the bow. It is true, and they do knot just fine, so I'm gonna be okay with that. So I got the string, put the nocks in, and then got this string on. And that was, gosh, that was scary. I was so afraid this thing was going to crack in half. But it didn't. It stayed on there, and that was good, which allowed me to then go on to the tillering process. I made myself a tillering gizmo, according to Kramer's instructions. It was a fun process, actually. Put a couple of pieces of hardwood together and found the one 5/16 inch nut that I had in the entire house to make this thing. Can't wait to use that. And went on to finalize my tillering tree. I had to make some adjustments up here and cut this off to bring the bow all the way out. And did the same thing down there with the bottom pulley. I built that out another inch so it wouldn't rub on this pole as I'm tillering. Got the pulleys I needed. Still waiting for a scale, which will go in between here so I can see how many pounds this thing is pulling when I go. But we're at the point now where I can take the bow, a little bit awkward with one hand here, put it on the tillering tree like so. Don't want to walk into that. That hurts, boy, I tell you what. I've done it. Hurts bad. Okay, get it centered up. Take a couple blocks of wood that I have here to fill in the back hole, and that holds it nice and tight up against the back. And now I can attach my hook to the string. Grab my string here, my string roll, walk backwards, and I'm now able to watch the limbs as I draw it back. Once I get a scale, I'll be able to see how many pounds I'm pulling as I do it. And what became clear to me is that the tilling process is important. Now, Kramer was very flat when saying that the difference between a woodworker and a bowier is in the tillering process. He used a bunch of scary words, most notably bow failure, bow breakage. Of course, I don't want any of that. So I'm going through the process to make sure that this thing is tillered correctly. In an effort to do so, I wanted to measure because it was clear to me once it got on there that the bottom limb, this one, was not flexing nearly as much as the top limb, this one. So, pretty sure that the reason is this one is thicker than this one. So far, I have been using this clear ruler, that tape, square edge, and this pin to find the dimensions for my bow. I wanted to check my work and check myself, so I decided to get really exact on it. Use this little guy. Zoot. Went around all of the spots on my bow, and I was way off by 2 3/10 in places. So I got some work to do. Now, Kramer would probably just get the draw knife out and start going at it again, but that scares the piss out of me. So I have got a cabinet scraper on the way, and I'm going to scrape it down little by little as we go so that this thing, hopefully, doesn't crack in half on me by the time I get it to draw out to 30 inches. At that point, probably need to buy some arrows and see if it actually works. So wish me luck. Updates to follow.